What do you see in this picture?
The yellow wall.
The yellow wall. It also looks like you might see a happy family. You probably never guessed that 30 seconds before this picture was taken, I had been crying in the corner, crying my eyes out. All because the woman who I'd known for my entire life, my own grandmother, she could no longer recognize me. What you see in this picture is the face of Alzheimer's disease. Now, I wish I could tell you that this story ends there, but unfortunately it doesn't. Every 3 seconds, a new person develops Alzheimer's disease. There are 50 million people worldwide living with this disease today, and that number is expected to double over the next 20 years. What's worse is that there's no cure for this disease, and there's not even medicine which slows down the progress. Billions of dollars has been spent in research over the last few decades. Hundreds of medicines have been tested, but only 4 have been actually released for usage. And the last medicine treatment has not been released since 2003. What that tells us is that science is failing when it comes to treating this disease. Why is that? We have made so much progress in other types of medical healthcare issues. Everything from HIV treatment, cardiovascular diseases, cancer, and even genetic engineering. So why this? In 1989, there was a neuroscientist named Dr. Dale Bridson who asked himself that same question. And he wanted to know, was Alzheimer's disease the result of a trauma that happened to the brain, or was it a part of the natural progression of getting older? So that question led him down the path of 30 years of research. And that research showed that Alzheimer's disease is not due to a trauma, but it's actually the brain's own self-protection mechanisms that kick in and go overboard. It also showed that what we've identified as one disease can actually be identified with 3 different diseases, each with their own independent causes. Those causes range from inflammation in the body, a lack of nutrients in the brain that allow it to function, or an exposure to toxins at some point in your lifetime. So we have an idea of what it is and where it comes from, but that doesn't tell us why have we failed so much at treating it. Dr. Bredson's hypothesis was that we have failed at this because we are attacking using 20th century medicine to treat a 21st century problem. And what he means by this is the following. Historically, if we fell sick, we could always identify that there is one unique cause that stands out above all the others. And the logic was that if you treat this cause with this type of medicine, you can get better. So that's what we did, and that worked. That works for simple illnesses. Alzheimer's disease is a complex illness. It affects the most complex organism in our body, the brain. So what we do for simple illnesses doesn't work for this situation. And with Alzheimer's disease, it turns out there's not one unique cause that stands out above the others. His research identified that there are actually 36 different factors which can contribute to these causes. So that unlike traditional medicine, if you only attack one factor, your approach probably will fail. It probably won't work. So Dr. Bredson said, we need a new strategy. And he likened this to having a house with 36 holes in the roof. If it starts raining and you patch one hole, you're still going to get wet. So you need to patch all 36 holes if you want to stop the leak. He took this strategy and his lab developed a protocol called Recode, reversal of cognitive decline. And his idea was that if you could attack these fundamental issues, all of them at the same time, first of all. Second, provide the brain with the nutrients that it needs to function. And then third, address the existing damage to repair that damage as possible. If you could do those 3 things, there could be a hope of slowing down the progression, and if you catch it early enough, maybe even preventing this disease from taking place. So that was the hypothesis. In 2014, his lab published their first paper in which they'd taken 10 patients suffering from cognitive decline, and they applied this strategy to them. they noticed that 9 out of 10 of these patients, within 3 to 6 months, they've experienced recovery and slowing down and reversal of these symptoms. 6 of these patients were able to function so well after the treatment that they were able to return to work at the previous jobs. One patient who had been treated for the longest amount of time, as of 2017, for 5 years, she was still showing improvement. So what we have here is we have a system now, thanks to Dr. Bredson, who explains this in his book called The End of Alzheimer's. Science is finally awakening and catching up to the idea that we are fighting a complex disease. It won't be through one solution that we manage to solve it, and it won't be through one solution that we can apply to everyone broadly. We will probably have to customize your treatment to each person. If you know of anyone that might be at risk or is currently suffering from this disease, I highly recommend you to look into this research, publishing this book, and hopefully one day we can all say that you never have to tell my story for yourselves. Thank you.